Okay. Hello, Ji. Hello, good afternoon. I don't know when the butterflies in the stomach will ever stop. कितने भी साल कितने भी इवेंट कर दूं जैसे ये काम करो ना सारे ग्रुप्स में वो डाल दो ना अपना ये लिंक और मैसेज
चला गया
लिंक भी चला गया सब जोन प्रोजेक्ट्स में
श्वेता ने अभी जस्ट डाला है श्वेता ने सबको डाल दिया
हाँ बस हेलो जी ऋतु जी कैसे हो आप एकदम बढ़िया आप कैसे हो मैं तो बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ
सभी के लिए बेस्ट लक
ऑल द बेस्ट लेट्स टेक द वॉइस एवरीबॉडी इज इट ओके परफेक्ट है
Yes.
और बहुत प्यारी लग रही हो बहुत सुंदर लग रही है बस हंसते रहना बहुत प्यारी लगती है अरे दी आज थोड़ा कुछ ज्यादा ही हो रहा है मेरे को भी हो रहा है मेरे को भी हो रहा है हाँ हाँ तो मेरे को हमेशा होता है कुछ ओके
जय जिनेंद्र सुनीता जी
जय
जिनेंद्र सभी को
लाइक आई
कांग्रेचुलेशन
The trick is not in showing your nervousness. You are nervous every time, but you just don't show it. That's it. That is the only trick you learn over the years.
True.
Ask Sunita ji, she'll also share with you.
True.
You just appear to be confident and in control. You're mute. You're on mute. अंदर बहुत ठीक है शीतल जी कहाँ है Should I call her? आ जाएंगे लड़की लोग हो सके तो कैमरा ऑन रखो ना हमको अच्छा लगता है तुम्हारे प्यारे प्यारे चेहरे देखने का सब लोग अपना अपना कैमरा ऑन करो ना थोड़ा मोटिवेट होता है तुम लोगों को देख के जो लड़कियां है वो कैमरा ऑन रखेगी जो आंटी लोग है वो नहीं चालू करेगी तो आप सोच लो क्या हो Let's see. कृति मेरे को चीयर्स कर रही है पानी के साथ कैसे हो वंदना जी क्या सोचा आपने मैंने जो बोला उसके बारे में म्यूट पे somebody will need to unmute her श्वेता प्लीज ये वेटिंग रूम हटा दो श्वेता वेटिंग रूम हटा दो प्लीज यार ये श्वेता को बोलिए ना वेटिंग रूम हटाने का
डन मैम डन
थैंक यू बेटा थैंक यू
श्वेता वो पासकोड वाला भी हटा दिया होगा आपने आई सपोज है ना
यस मैम
ओके डन
शीतल कैसा नहीं शीतल नीता जी कैमरा ऑन रखो ना अच्छा लग रहा था आपका चेहरा देख के आ जाना। क्या हुआ? श्वेता थोड़ा इजी कर दिया ना एंट्री करना है, को somebody is complaining कि एंट्री नहीं हो रहा है बराबर।
Okay, ma'am. Checking.
Smile, making you look so lovely.
हेलो,
हेलो जी।
रेडी? गुड लक संगीता जी।
थैंक यू। आई जस्ट सॉ चेयरमैन साहब।
Sukhraj ji sir
Jai
has
Jinendra.
joined. Jai Jinendra, Sukhraj ji sir.
जय जिनेंद्र चेयरमैन सर। श्वेता सर को म्यूट करें। हाँ। सर अपने आप को अनम्यूट करें।
जय जिनेंद्र। Easy.
हमको हमेशा आपका सपोर्ट रहता है चेयरमैन साहब। हेलो। सर आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? शीतल का क्या प्रॉब्लम?
क्या ले लो?
ये आई थिंक किसी का वाईफाई
कागज पे बुक क्यों दे? बाहर जाके पेपर लेके आ जाओ।
जय जिनेंद्र शीतल जी। जय जिनेंद्र चेयरमैन सर।
नमस्कार, कैसे हो?
बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ सर।
Jai Jinendra.
आप सबको जय जिनेंद्र।
जय जिनेंद्र।
चेयरमैन सर ने मुझे कहा है सुनीता जी कि नेक्स्ट जो लास्ट इवेंट होगा बोले बहुत जोर से करना, बहुत
Yes.
शानदार करना, जियो
Yes.
में करना और ऑल इंडिया से लोगों को बुलाना।
Great.
और रिकॉर्ड बीट करना, इंडिया का जो पहला रिकॉर्ड बना था अभी दूसरा बना।
Yes, yes, sir.
डन सर। जय जिनेंद्र संजय जी।
सबको जय जिनेंद्र जी।
Jai Jinendra.
Congratulations for flagging off Super Empowerment Week.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for always being there for us. A troubleshooter, motivator, everything.
I have no choice.
No, you do have choice. You do have choice, but you are phenomenal. You're very good. Thank you.
सुखराज जी ने मुझे जिम्मेदारी दे दी है तो निभानी पड़ेगी।
तो सुखराज जी ने सही व्यक्ति को सही
जय
जिम्मेदारी दी।
जिनेंद्र थोड़ा सा।
नमस्कार संजय जी।
जय जिनेंद्र।
नमस्ते सर।
संजय जी
जय
अभी
जिनेंद्र।
रिकॉर्ड वापस
अभय जी सर, जय जिनेंद्र।
अभय
अनम्यूट
सर,
करना पड़ेगा आपको। अनम्यूट कीजिए। अभय जी
अभय
सर।
सर को को-होस्ट करना। अभय सर को co-host
Done,
करना।
done.
जय
सभी
जिनेंद्र।
संगीता जी को मेरा सादर जय जिनेंद्र प्रणाम।
जय जिनेंद्र सर।
Otherwise, I have to take Sangeeta at least 100 times.
I agree with you.
एक तीर में कितने सारे निशाने लगा दिए है वैसा ने।
वो इसीलिए वो प्रेसिडेंट है। इसीलिए वो प्रेसिडेंट है जीतो के।
बुलाना मुझे बने कहीं तो कहीं
सुनीता जी, जयश्री जी
जय
आपके लड़के को
जिनेंद्र।
मिला था मैं जिप में।
जय जिनेंद्र।
हाँ
जिप में मिला था आपके लड़के को, बहुत ही
हाँ,
प्रभावशाली है।
हाँ बता रहा था कि मैं मिल के आया था।
और सभी को बहुत तहे दिल से धन्यवाद, बधाई।
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you.
क्या प्रेसिडेंट साहब कैसे हो?
चेयरमैन जी जय जिनेंद्र, एकदम ठीक हूँ। चेयरमैन जी कल पूछ रहे थे, मैं कभी भी बंडी में रहता हूँ क्या, सोते भी बंडी में बैठता हूँ क्या? मैं बोला चेयरमैन जी कब बुला दे पता नहीं पड़ता है। चेयरमैन जी का आदेश आए तो भागना पड़ता है नींद में भी।
अरे हमारा वीडियो बंद क्यों करके रखा है आपने?
ऑडियो
जय जिनेंद्र, मनोज सर, मनोज भाई,
जय जिनेंद्र, मनोज जी,
श्वेता,
संजय जी,
श्वेता मनोज भाई को को होस्ट करे प्लीज।
भरत जी भी ज्वाइन कर।
भरत जी भी ज्वाइन हो गए? आई कांट सी भरत
ज्वाइन।
Hi, hi. Can you hear me?
भरत, how are you?
Hi, hi.
Bharat, we say Jai Jinendra.
Oh, Jai Jinesh.
जय जिनेंद्र।
जय जिनेंद्र, जय जिनेंद्र, मनोज जी, भरत जी।
नमस्कार सबको।
नमस्कार, नमस्कार। शीतल जी शुरू करें।
Good afternoon, everyone. जय जिनेंद्र। भगवान महावीर के चरणों में वंदन करते हुए आज के कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत हम नवकार मंत्र से करते हैं।
ओम नमो वरिहन्याणं, ओम नमो सिद्धाणं, ओम नमो आयर्याणं, ओम नमो उमच्छायाणं, नमो लोये सवसाहूणं, ईशो पञ्चनमुक्कारो सर्वपावपणासनो, मङ्गलाणं च सव्वेसिं, पढमं हवै मङ्गलं, पढमं हवै मङ्गलम्।
Thank you. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for the opening ceremony of Women Empowerment Week to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I'd like to welcome our respected Chief Guest Director, Actor, Brand Strategist, Ad Guru, Mr. Bharat ji Dabholkar, Jito Apex Chairman, Mr. Sukhraj Nahar, President Abhay ji Shri Mal, Secretary General Manoj ji Mehta, Secretary Sanjay ji Jain, our JLW Director in charge Sunita ji Bora, JLW National Chairperson Sangeeta ji Lalwani, and all Jito Apex dignitaries and directors who are present here, JLW National Committee members, chapters, chairpersons and chief secretaries, and their all India JLW members, their family and friends. I'd like to welcome each and everyone who are present here. The whole year, we are learning new skills for our personal development and doing lots of activities for our nation. This Women Empowerment Week, we are going to celebrate and learn new thoughts and ideas by our distinguished guests. So I request our chairperson, Sangeeta ji Lalwani, to address the gathering. Welcome, Sangeeta ji Lalwani.
भगवान महावीर के चरणों में कोटिशा वंदन. A very, very warm good afternoon to everybody. Our chief guest, Bharat ji Dabholkar, Chairman Sahab, President, Secretary General, Secretary Manoj ji, Secretary General Manoj ji Mehta, Secretary Sanjay ji, Director in charge Sunita ji Bora, मेरी पूरी प्यारी National Wing Committee, entire Jito Ladies Wing team, all our listeners who are listening to us on YouTube Live, a very, very warm welcome to the Women Empowerment Week. हम 75 आजादी का 75वां सालगिरह मना रहे हैं. We are celebrating 75 years of Indian independence. Today we begin a very important week, the Women Empowerment Week. But before that, today we also finished our tree plantation week. Very happy to share with the entire Apex dignitaries. Sir, हमको आप लोगों ने टारगेट दिया था 75,000 का. Very happy to share that we have crossed it. जीतो लेडीज विंग को आप टारगेट दो तो सर क्रॉस कर ही लेते हैं. Thank you very much for trusting us, and thank you team for doing this. You're phenomenal team. You're like super. we have seen and are aware of the progress that our nation has made in 75 years. हम जानते हैं कि हम पहले कुछ पुराने जमाने के ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट की पिक्चर्स देखते हैं तो इंडिया कहाँ था और इंडिया आज कहाँ है. In our lifetime, we have seen the progress we have made. We are on the verge of becoming a superpower. But we are only as empowered and as strengthened as the women of the nation are. A nation is only as strong as its women are. Today, we celebrate a Women Empowerment Week. Honestly, I believe that every day should be celebrated as Women's Day. Every week should be celebrated as a Women Empowerment Week. But ठीक है, मनोज साहब ने कहा एक हफ्ता तुमको देते हैं, तो हमने एक हफ्ता ही ले लिया मनोज साहब. Today, we are the Women Jito Ladies Wing has got a variety of speakers from all the legends, all the people who are leaders in their field to talk to us through the entire week. Today, we have with us the ad guru, the legendary man behind the Amul Girl, and so many other advertising campaigns. We also tomorrow we will have Prithviraj Kothari, our own Prithviraj Kothari, jo Bullion King hai. Manisha Gupta of CNBC. Then we have people from the mental health, physical fitness, spiritual health, financial fitness, celebrity gurus who believe in women empowerment. A plethora of speakers just for this. In my heart, girls, though we talk about women empowerment and women equality, I believe we are the chosen ones. भगवान ने हमें तो चूज किया है उनकी प्रकृति को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए. So in my heart, I actually believe that we are, I don't even never talk about equality. I just talk about being the chosen one. And I just tell everybody, remember, don't forget who you are. You are very, very special. We thank Rituji Choraria for putting forward this entire week of brilliant speakers. Thank you, Ritu, for doing this to us and getting forward all this. I, like all of you, am looking forward to listening to the ad guru, to the man who is the most simple, most accessible, most humble person and most creative and talented person I've ever met. I have to share a small incident with you today. Today morning at 7:30, he sends me a message. He sends me 2 WhatsApp messages. Acha, Bharat ji and I don't exchange WhatsApps on a regular basis. तो मुझे देख के ना थोड़ा टेंशन हो गया. मुझे लगा पता नहीं शायद कुछ इमरजेंसी हो गई होगी, भरत जी शायद कह रहे होंगे आज मैं नहीं आ रहा हूँ, जब कुछ तो ना मेरे दिल में से फ्लटर हो गया. And I see his reel. It was so funny, Bharati. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to Bharat ji. Bharat ji, I welcome you to Jito Ladies Wing, the organization, an organization that works relentlessly day in and day out to create a platform for women to fulfill their potential and reach the sky. Thank you, and a warm welcome to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sangeeta ji, our dynamic chairperson who always lead all the events. So now I request our JLW Director in Charge, Sunita ji Bohra. Welcome, Sunita ji.
Jai Jinendra, a very warm welcome to all the Apex dignitaries present today and our distinguished speaker, Bharat ji Dabholkar, and all the Jito members who have joined all across the country from all the chapters. Today, we have all virtually joined in today to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And keeping in that mind, we have come up with Women Empowerment Week. So we are beginning our week with none other than a maverick, an actor, director, a versatile theater personality, ad guru, popular known behind Amul Girl, which signifies women empowerment, the girl, a free-spirited girl, so which is loved by all. So it's a great way to begin our journey with. So happy learning to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunita ji, for your kind words. Now I request Sanjay ji Jain, Secretary Jito Apex. Welcome, Sanjay ji.
Thank you. Sabko mera sadar Jai Jinendra. Big salute to the women power of Jito JLW, led by Sunita ji and Sangeeta ji. Sorry, I'm not naming the others. No one knows their power more than me because I've been working very closely for them for the last 9 months, and my God, It's quite something. जैसे बताया गया, अगर any country को आगे बढ़ना है, तो 50% of our population are women. So no dream, no aspiration can be fulfilled unless the women come out and work shoulder to shoulder with men. I think so. This question of empowerment, I hope, will go sooner than later. जहां हम empowerment की बात तब करते हैं जब किसी को power करने की जरूरत है. I think so. Our women folks are more powered than us. I know Sangeeta ji may not agree in certain things. झगड़े होते रहते हैं हमारे. But definitely हम चाहे अपने घर में देखें या कहीं भी देखें. Actually, I find them in more in power than us. And it's not about empowerment. It's about learning, upskilling ourselves. You all are doing a great job, probably in a different sphere from what we are doing, but doesn't mean anyway in any form less. So all the best. And I've seen the series of speakers excellently chosen, and personal congratulations to Ritu ji, who I personally recommended to Sangeeta ji to take her on board. And I'm happy to see she's done a great job of lining up 7 excellent. और भरत जी के बारे में लास्ट में क्या बोलूं, ये अमूल गर्ल को देखते देखते आई एम ऑल्सो ब्रांड, हम हमेशा कहते हैं यार कुछ ऐसा डेवलप करो, मतलब उसका कोई दूसरा आया ही नहीं है, इतने साल हो गए. सो मतलब हैट्स ऑफ टू यू सर, एंड आई होप यू क्रिएट मेनी मोर सच figures for us which will become a landmark, not in a region but in a nation. Thank you, and all the best to JLW and all the wonderful ladies who are here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay Bhaiya, for always your support. Now I request National General Secretary General, Mr. Manoj Mehta. Welcome, Manoj Bhaiya. When
I saw Manoj Bhai. Shweta, you've unmuted him, no?
Yeah. Just unmuted. Thank you, respected Chairman, President, and all the JLWs, ladies, womenpreneurs, I would call them. Sanjay has specifically and very rightly put it that there is no need to empowerment, that you are already so much of power. I would also like to welcome Bharat, Dabholkar. मैं बॉम्बे में रहता हूँ, and I've seen his plays, the funniness he gets in, and Amul Girl was a master stroke which we still remember all along. And whenever I have not seen a play for last 5-7 years, but whenever there is a play by Bharat Dabholkar, I always make sure that I go, because that is the way I can unwind myself a lot of time. In terms of what women are doing, there is no need to specifically specify. Right at the top of the seats, countrywide or worldwide, they're always and everywhere and all over the places now. In my own company, I have 6 verticals, out of which 2 verticals, the CFOs are the women, which leads our finances. So I know how strong ladies can be. And you all have proved with this Ahimsa run. Again, in terms of the conversation with Sangeeta ji, Ganpat ji, I was part of the conversation where board seat from 1 to 3, and now there is no looking back at what 3 to 5 or 7, whatever, wherever you will be. So I'm extremely confident what you have already achieved, and this next 1.5 year, you'll part of something great things which Jito will be doing first time. Also, this Amritkal week, we always know whenever we have planned this, 2 wings which were very strongly which were recommended by me, and also people, that ladies wing and the youth wing are the 1-2 wings which will make sure that whatever you are targeting will be achieved. And I once again thank you for this contribution, Sangeeta ji, Sunita ji, Sheetal ji, and all other Sangeetas on the team and the women team. So thank you and wish you all the best for this week.
Thank you so much, Manoj Bhaiya. You always give us confidence. Now I request our national chairperson, national president, Jito president, Mr. Abhayji Shriman. Very dynamic, very active. Unmute, please, Shweta, unmute. Shweta, please unmute him.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
जय जिनेंद्र,
Jai
जीतो एपेक्स चेयरमैन सुकराज जी, जीतो एपेक्स board and everybody who are present here, and JLW chairperson Sangeeta ji, director in charge, and others. I really appreciate the kind of enthusiasm you people have taken to see that you celebrate this week of Amrit Mahotsav. और आपने बहुत कुछ पा भी लिया है। 75,000 का जो टारगेट था आपने कर भी दिखाया है ट्री प्लांटेशन का, और आगे भी आप बहुत ही अच्छा काम करेंगे। मेरी शुभकामनाएं आपके साथ है। और जो भी काम आपको दिया गया था, जब भी दिया गया था, बहुत सी अड़चने आई, बहुत सी होने के बाद भी आप लोगों ने जो उत्साह के साथ उस कार्यक्रम को करके दिखाया और गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बना दिया। यानी दिस इज समथिंग विच इज व्हाट यू कैन अचीव एंड यू पावर कैन। सुनीता जी, और आपने जो प्रेरणा हर बार देते रहे हैं, उनके लिए भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और आज आपने जो भरत जी दाभोलकर को बुलाया है और उनसे जो शुरुआत की है, आई एम श्योर दिस विल ट्रिगर अ न्यू वेव इन द एंटायर एंथुसियाज्म। माय बेस्ट विशेस। We all are eager to hear Bharat ji than hear me. So thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you so much, Abhay ji. It's all for pleasing us. It's all because of our all India national members who always participate in all our events. So thanks to each and every committee members and each and every member for it. Now I welcome our national chairman, JITO chairman, सुखराज जी नाहर। आपका बहुत बहुत
सुनीता जी, थोड़ा सा करेक्शन कर देता हूँ, ये ग्लोबल है, जीतो इज इंटरनेशनल।
हाँ, या जीतो इज ग्लोबल इंटरनेशनल। तो हम स्वागत करते हैं जीतो एपेक्स के चेयरमैन सुखराज जी नाहर का।
जय जिनेंद्र सबको हाथ जोड़ के।
जय जिनेंद्र।
हमारे प्यारे प्रेसिडेंट साहब, जीतो बोर्ड के सब मेंबर्स, JW कमेटी के ऑल मेंबर्स, संगीता जी, आपने पहले एक रिकॉर्ड तोड़ा है आयशा का, अब दूसरा रिकॉर्ड ढूंढना पड़ेगा कि कौन सा रिकॉर्ड तोड़ेंगे आप, क्योंकि दिसंबर महीना वापस आ रहा है, आपको वही काम वापस करना है जो लास्ट टाइम किया है। मैं स्वागत करता हूं भरत जी का, जो मोटिवेशन के लिए आप पधारे उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है। और जो ईसा का प्रोग्राम हम लोग करने को जा रहे हैं उसमें आप बहुत एक्टिव है। 75,000 प्लांटेशन लगाए आपने। लेडीज विंग आज ऐसा लग रहा है कि बराबरी में खड़ी होगी हमारे सामने। अभी बोर्ड में 3 मेंबर, अगले टाइम 10 मेंबरों की कोशिश करो कि 10 मेंबर अंदर आए। ये शुभकामनाएं करता हूं। आगे बढ़ो, काम करो और पूरे हिंदुस्तान का नाम करो, ऐसा कोई काम हाथ में लो। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सुखराज साहब, आपके आशीर्वाद के लिए। अब मैं हमारे मॉडरेटर संगीता जी जैन को स्वागत करती हूँ। हमारी चीफ सेक्रेटरी संगीता जी जैन, वो आज मॉडरेट करेंगी, तो उनका स्वागत है भरत जी के सेशन के लिए।
Thank you, Sheetal ji. Thanks a lot, and welcome to all our Apex dignitaries. Warm welcome, and our chief guest, Bharat ji Dabholkar. A warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you to this special Zoom session. Today, we have the honor and privilege of hosting a distinguished personality, Bharat ji Dabholkar, whose contributions to the performing arts have left an indelible mark on the industry. Throughout his illustrious career, Bharat ji has showcased his immense talent as an acclaimed actor, director, and writer, captivating the audience with his powerful performances on stage and screen both equally. His creativity, wit, and storytelling skills have extended beyond the world of entertainment, as he has crafted memorable and impactful advertisements for various brands and companies. Notably, Bharatji's brilliance has earned him widespread recognition and numerous awards in the advertising industry, including multiple Advertising Excellence Awards for his work with Amul Butter, winning it for 14 years in a row for the same. His ability
Sir, आपको है क्या?
Yes. Depicts successful plays that explore social issues and human relationships while blending humor with thought-provoking narratives has truly enchanted audience over the years. Beyond his artistic accomplishments, Bharatji is also renowned for his engaging and charismatic public speaking skills. His dedication to his profession and the passion he brings to each endeavor are truly admirable. Today, we are privileged to have Bharatji Dabholkar with us, and we are confident that his presence will inspire and enrich all of us. Let's warmly welcome him and eagerly look forward to the valuable insights and wisdom he will share during our Zoom session. Thank you, Bharatji, for gracing us with your presence. And a very warm
Thank you so much.
मैं सबकी तरफ से आपके लिए एक अपलाउज, क्योंकि Zoom में सबका सुनाई नहीं देता, मैं सबकी तरफ से आपके लिए.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being here, sir. And to start with, I think question answer में क्या पूछूं आपके बारे में इतना कुछ है sir, तो I think I'll just try doing justice to what I asked. Okay, so let us start with, can you please tell us about your journey in the entertainment industry and who and especially what inspired you to do so, sir?
Well, entertainment industry journey actually began when I got into advertising. I had no interest in theatre or films or anything of that sort before that. I'm a lawyer by education, a full-fledged lawyer and business management graduate. I had no interest in theatre. I got into advertising and I was working with Mr. Sylvester Dicuna. And Sylvester Dicuna, Alec Padamsee, these were the guys who were interested in English theatre. They were doing English theatre. So because of them, I got interested in doing theatre. And I started writing English plays. I think for the first time in India,
One of
we
your
did
best
plays.
specialities, English plays.
What happened was earlier there used to be English plays, which were very English. Then there were Hindi plays, there were Gujarati plays, there were Marathi plays. So the Marathi audiences saw the Marathi plays, the Gujarati audiences saw the Gujarati plays. So English audiences were very limited because those plays were very English. They were like set in England. The names were English. They were all in suited, booted kind of avatars. So when I started doing things in this new language called English, which was a mixture of Hindi, English, and I took actors from different regional theatres. So we had Harish Patel, Mohan Bhandari, Rushali Gokhale, people like this from different theatre backgrounds, Atmaram Bhende. So suddenly the audiences found people who talked their kind of English. They made the mistakes that normal audiences make. And that created what we call in advertising, we call it empathy with the audience. They felt that this was what was happening on stage was something that happened in their own life. This is the way they talk. This is the way they... And I think that's what made the plays work. And my plays were set in India. So we made fun of everything that was Indian. We made fun of Indian airlines. We made fun of school admissions. We made fun of everything. But it was all what was happening in a common man's life. So they could relate to what was happening on the stage. It wasn't something alien to them. It wasn't something that was happening in England that they didn't understand. And I think that's how my play started working. My first play was an adaptation of a very popular Marathi play called Tuzaya Tuzapashi by P.L. Deshpande. And that, in fact, started this entire journey of English theatre. That play had shloks from Bhagavad Gita. That play had Urdu Shairi. And everybody in Mumbai, all the top play producers said this won't work in English. No one's going to listen to Bhagavad Gita shloks and Urdu Shairi on an English stage. And I said, these are Indian audiences, they're not foreign audiences. They all understand Bhagavad Gita, they all understand Urdu Shairi. So that was the first play that started this whole journey of English theatre. And then I went on to write many, many more, and some of the biggest stars acted in my play. A lot of people, in fact, who started in my play as youngsters went on to become big stars. People like Shamak Davar. Shamak was a dancer in my play, and then he used to sing in my play, and then he became this big shot Shamak Davar. Then Shahid Kapoor was a dancer in my play. Then Javed Jafri was a dancer in my play. Then Arshad Varsi was a dancer in my play and the choreographer of my play. And his wife Maria was a dancer in my play. So all these guys, Sunita Rao, Shweta Shetty, all these guys who later on became big names, we all started together. I always tell them that you guys have gone ahead and become famous. I am still where I am. But the point is, we did start together and they have done really well. And that's what made me keep on doing theatre, because I had a job in advertising. So the whole day we used to work in advertising. And I had to spend that extra time in the evening to go for rehearsals and write plays. But that's the kind of passion we had. And it was great fun doing shows every weekend and watching 1,000 people appreciate and laugh at what you've written. That was a great feeling. I always say the richest man in India or the world can't get the feeling of watching every week 1,000 people laughing and enjoying something that he has written. So that was a
Very
great
true. Very
experience.
true, sir. Very true. That's the best feeling one can have, I think.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's how theatre started. And advertising continued. We did advertising for Amul. We did all the Amul brands we launched. I did advertising for Fruity and Appy and Daily and Thumbs Up and all kinds of things. LIC and Bank of
List is
India.
big. I know, sir. The list is
It
big.
just
I've gone
it
through
goes
this
and on and on. So that's how the both advertising and theatre coexisted. And then out of the blues, one day I got a call from Shah Rukh Khan saying that I've seen your plays or whatever, and I'm doing a film, and would you like to act in it? And I said, look, I have an advertising agency to run, so I won't be able to spare the time. He said, "Nahi, Bombay mein shooting hogi, so you'll be able to spare the time." And that's how I got into doing films. So I did a film with Shah Rukh. That was my first film. Then I got a call from Ram Gopal Verma who said, "Come and do a film with me." And then I did a film company, which launched, in fact, Vivek Oberoi. So we did that film together.
Yes.
And then all these kinds of things happened. Then I got a call from Rajinikanth. He said, "I'm doing a film in Tamil, and I want you to play a major role of the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu with me. Would you be interested in doing that?" So I went and did all these kinds of, I was just having fun. I continued advertising. This was in my spare time that I would go and shoot films or whatever. So that's how it started. That's how the journey in the entertainment industry continued for me.
So you worked with the best leading actors in the industry. So you
I worked
like
with I worked with the best in the industry. I worked with Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan and Amitabh Bachchan and Nagarjuna and Mohanlal and you name it, Dilip and Jairam and Rajnikant and all the best guys.
Exactly. People take years to just even dream about it, and you've got it, sir. So that's really, I think, great achievement.
But I had small roles, fun roles. That wasn't my profession. So I wasn't asking people how much money am I going to get for this film or how big is my role. I just said I'm having fun doing this. I'm meeting different kinds of people. I'm enjoying the kind of when you go and meet these guys, it's a completely different world. You don't get to see it from inside. So for me, it was a new experience. That's how it worked.
Real passion, acting passion.
Yeah.
So you're called the father of English. I know you love mixing different languages and creating new ones. And you started with English things. So do you remember any dialogue of your movie or English plays? What you've done?
I have said this many times. I mean, hundreds of times. I'll say it again. That this English wasn't some very intelligent, creative thought on my part. I did my entire schooling in Marathi. I was in a Marathi medium school from first to SSC in Girgam, Aryan Education High School, and all my subjects were in Marathi. We had every subject in Marathi. We had Bhagavad Gita as a subject that we had to write an exam on, and we had lower English. And after my passing out of school, I joined Elphinstone College, which was at that time Elphinstone and Xavier's were these premier South Bombay colleges. And I joined first year arts. And I had 145 girls, the prettiest girls in Mumbai, and 5 boys. That was the best time of our life. And out of the 5 boys, one was blind, Hasmukh Shah. One was the principal's son. One was a very studious boy. So there were 2 of us who were interested in talking to girls. But the problem was, I couldn't speak English. Even if a girl came to me and said, "Bharat, do you want to bunk the next lecture and go for a film?" I would answer that in my mind in Marathi first. I would say, "मी आईला घरी जेवायला येतो म्हणून सांगितलंय. मी येऊ शकत नाही." Then I would translate that in my mind. I have told my mother I'll be home for lunch, so I cannot come. Then I would say it 2-3 times to make sure that my pronunciations were right. So by the time I had an answer ready, the girl would have gone for a film and come back. So I had to learn something to say very fast. So then I decided that look, there's nothing like perfect English in the world. Every country has their own brand of English. The French guys speak English their own way. The Germans speak their own way. In India, the Gujaratis speak English their own way. Maharashtrians speak their own way. Tamilians speak their own way. We all use our words from our mother tongue when we talk. Nobody speaks a perfect English line. We all use mother tongue words in every sentence. So I said, so suppose if I get stuck for an English word that I don't know when I'm speaking, why don't I use a Marathi word or a Hindi word? And I've grown up with Gujaratis. So I speak, read and write Gujarati. So I said I can speak in Gujarati if I miss an English word. That's how what now people call English happened. That it was a mixture of languages because I didn't know a single language very well. So I had to mix different languages. That's how it started.
But listening you speak now, what a transformation, sir. Now you don't have to think again in the mind to frame a sentence. हमें सोचना पड़ेगा. अब मैं आगे क्या पूछूं इनसे?
So I want to tell you one thing. Since this is a Women Empowerment Week that we're talking about, I'll tell you what has happened. I think in the last maybe 25 years, because of social media, and every corner of India can now access things that they couldn't earlier. I think women's idea of empowerment also has changed. I'll give you an example. I did advertising for all the Tata Tea brands, all the brands that are in the market of Tata Tea. I've launched all those brands. We were launching a tea in I think 1997 maybe. It's 25 years ago. I was launching a tea called Agni. At that time, this women empowerment wasn't a popular word. Nobody had thought of women empowerment as a word. But I wrote that entire campaign as a tribute to Indian women. So I had what I did is I collected to present it and do research. We always do a research before we launch a campaign. So I collected clippings from different films: a woman pilot, a woman judge, a woman commissioner of police, a woman social activist, a woman lawyer. And I wrote a jingle. I don't remember all the words, but the last lines were "Shakti ka hai roop yahi, Agni hai yahi, नए समाज की उम्मीदों का प्रतीक है यही, Agni Chai." And we started showing that in Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, and the women loved it. 1997, I'm talking about. They loved it. It was the whole thing about empowered women, women who have achieved different things in different fields. Then we started showing that in smaller towns. And I went with the research team to a place called Chandosi, which is I think on the border of UP and Bihar. And there the women had a completely different idea of what an empowered woman should be. They saw the film, the trial film, and they said, "ये औरत सिर्फ प्लेन उड़ाती है क्या? ये सिर्फ पुलिस बन के रास्ते पे घूमती है क्या? वो बच्चों की पढ़ाई लेती नहीं क्या घर पे? वो अपने फैमिली के साथ बैठ के चाय नहीं पीती क्या? वो करवा चौथ नहीं करती क्या?" And we suddenly realized that for those women, empowerment wasn't just doing all these things outside. It was also being an ideal housewife. That she had to take studies of the children. She had to make sure that the family sat together and had tea together. And we suddenly realized that sitting in Mumbai, we don't know that in the normal Indian population, everybody doesn't think like we think. For them, empowerment is not just being a judge or a pilot. It's being a good housewife. A good mother was also empowerment for them. So we had to change that entire film, added thing. We had a pilot, we had a judge, but we also had a mother taking studies of her children. We also had a mother doing, a lady doing Karwa Chauth, or a lady sitting with her in-laws and having tea together. So that is, I think, when you say empowerment, to me, the combination of all this is empowerment. It's not just achievement things outside, but achievement things in the house, being a great housewife, great mother, great daughter-in-law, and a great businesswoman, a great entrepreneur, or whatever. So I think it's a combination of all of that.
That's why we call women are CEO of their houses,
Yes,
homes.
they are. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
without them, nothing can work actually.
No. But what happens is over the years, people haven't realized, even women. I used to do advertising for LIC. And we found out in research that when you ask a family, आपके पास LIC की policy है क्या? They generally say, हमारे यहाँ पे हमारे husband की policy है. And we say, don't you have a policy? नहीं, उनकी है policy. And then I wrote a whole jingle, a whole poem to tell a woman how you do so much more than what a man does. So I listed the whole morning to evening routine of a woman, a working woman, but she has to still get up early, make breakfast for the children, make sure that the husband's clothes are proper. He can't find his socks anywhere. She has to make sure that the socks are there. She makes sure that the children's school bags are filled properly. Then she herself goes to work. Then she comes back home. She has to make sure that the food is there. Husband is sitting at home and watching television and watching a cricket match. And she has to do all this, make sure that everything in the house is proper. So we ended that by saying, you are so much more important than a man. So why don't you insure yourself? Why don't you take an insurance policy for yourself, not just for the husband? But I think that is what I think we need to convey to women, that, you are much more important in terms of running a house, running the country. You're far more important than a man. And that is what we've been doing for years. We've been doing this through advertising for years.
Well, listening to all this, one thought comes to my mind. क्या ये women centric ad बनाने से पहले आपके दिमाग में कुछ आता है कि ये click होगा नहीं होगा? See, it's all about कि आपका जो आप बनाते हो वो अच्छा hit भी होना चाहिए, लोगों को appeal भी होना चाहिए. So एक कहीं ना कहीं fear होता था, या you were very confident कि this is the next wave?
नहीं, we were confident. जैसे मैंने कहा कि अग्नि चाय की जब हमने ऐड बनाई थी, तो हमको ये देखना था कि सारे भारत में हर एक कोने में यही क्लिक होगा कि नहीं होगा, कि एक वुमन पायलट दिखा के वो बिहार की औरत या केरला की औरत भी पसंद करेगी क्या नहीं करेगी. So we had to do a research to find out उनको क्या पसंद आता है, because every state had a different reaction. When we researched the same campaign in Bengal, those guys said, Bengali women said, हमको ये कुछ नहीं करना है, हम तो ऐसे भी पावरफुल है, हमारे घर में सिर्फ हमारी चलती है, हमारे हस्बैंड हमारे सुनते रहते हैं, हमको कुछ चाय पी के पावरफुल नहीं बनना है, हमको एक काम करो, हमारे घर में पारा डिस्कशंस होते हैं, सब लोग एक घर में मिलके गाना गाते हैं, जोक्स करते हैं, पॉलिटिकल डिस्कशंस करते हैं, उस पर चाय बहुत पीते हैं, तो गिव अस अ टी दैट मेक्स मोर कप्स ऑफ टी. So only for Bengal we had to make a different kind of a film. तो ये होता है when we talk about women idea of empowerment has at that time been very different. I think now what is happening is because of social media, everybody is getting aware of the similar things. Whether you're in urban India, rural India, everybody thinks the same. Yeah. So now they all are thinking similarly. Hopefully, and that is what will grow.
So, sir, regarding this only, so I would just ask you one more thing. कि often your your work includes political, social themes. So, how do you strike a balance between entertainment and conveying messages to your audience?
See, I'll tell you, when you do political things in my plays, I do a lot of political satire. I make fun of all political leaders. Amul Butter, when I used to do the hoarding, I used to do a lot of political campaigns. The idea there is you should not take sides. You should not say, I'll make fun of this political party and will support this political party. Because you're appealing to everybody in your audience, whether it's a play audience or an advertising campaign audience. There are people with different loyalties to different parties. So you have to keep that balance, that you will make fun of somebody, but it won't be hurtful fun, and will make fun of everybody. So nobody says कि इन्होंने बीजेपी के बारे में मस्ती किया. They made fun of Congress. You shouldn't get into it. You should make, if you're making fun of Congress, you make fun of BJP. You making fun of BJP, you make fun of Aam Aadmi Party. So you make fun of everybody, then nobody minds it, and it shouldn't be hurtful.
And it would lead to a thing where people feel that they're.
I think there's a.
I never make fun of religious things. I never make fun of anything that anybody respects. So I don't agree that you can make cartoons on whether it's Hindu gods or Muslim gods or whatever. You should always be careful that you don't hurt people's sentiments. So even when you're doing political stuff, you should stick to something that is humorous but not hurtful, not insulting.
Coming back to your plays and advertisements, women-centric ads, and do you do you promote societal barriers to be broken, or any societal lackings that you would like to showcase in your?
No, not really. I'll tell you one thing. Advertising is not about changing social things. Advertising is about selling we are a small part of marketing. It is not our responsibility to make sure that society changes. We have to follow what is good and promote what is good, but selling a product is our priority. We are not into changing society. Indian films, Bollywood films can do that. Theatre can do that. But advertising has a limited time. We have a 30 seconds or 40 seconds to sell a product. So in that 40 seconds, you can't get into changing social norms or social values. Your job is to sell your product, make sure that people prefer your product over the competitive products. We have a limited scope, so we don't get into, and we shouldn't get into any social things in advertising. We can do it in theatre, we can do it in films, not in advertising. And since you talked about political campaigns, I had in 2014, I had written Modi ji's line that "Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar" was written by me. I never got credit or money for that, but that was okay because I wanted them to win. But in 2014, I had written that line. It's registered in my name.
Oh, that's great. Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar. That's really
Yeah,
nice.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Sangeeta ji wants to ask something. I think she has raised
So, so tempted to ask, अब की बार किसकी सरकार? महाराष्ट्र में.
Maharashtra mein, I never, I then after 2014, when people realized that I had written that line, then Congress called me to help them with their campaign. Then NCP called me to help them with their campaign. And I said, look, I will, as a professional, I'll come and help anybody. I said, I'll vote for Modi ji, but if you want me to do your, but I will, because my personal choice is different. My professional, if you are calling me as a professional to do a campaign, I will do it for you. It never happened. I did have some meetings with them, but they were not, in 2015, they were not very confident of winning. So nothing really happened. It was a wasteful time.
We have something in our chat. You are very lucky for the political party. Monica ji Pirgal, I got that message. Let me convey. You're very lucky for the political party. आपने बोला कि अब की बार मोदी सरकार will be the most sought after man sir to जो next election जिसको जीतना होगा.
Well, I'll tell you one thing very honestly. अब की बार मोदी सरकार is not a brilliant line. Even that time when we were writing this, we didn't even know that they were going to nominate Modi ji as the prime minister. So we had done different lines. I had done अब की बार BJP सरकार, अब की बार Jetli सरकार, all those kinds of things we had done. We didn't know who they are going to promote. The good line, and it could have worked with anybody's name. I think the good line which I didn't write, which was at Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time, where it said "Ab ki bari Atal Bihari." That was a very nice line because without
Very
Atal
nice
Bihari's
line.
name, it wouldn't have
Rhymes.
stood. See, "Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar," you can put any name in that and it will work. But "Ab ki bari Atal Bihari," or in the olden days when Jayaprakash Narayan ji was there was a line said, "Andhere mein ek prakash, Jay Prakash, Jay Prakash." I think those lines were more brilliant than "Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar," very honestly.
नहीं true. Sir, ऐसे ही कुछ और थोड़े memorable experiences आप अपनी तरफ से share करें. That will be, I think, आप जो हमें कुछ अच्छा सा बताना चाहें. फिर मैं next question. If you want to share something really out of the box कुछ किया हो या
out of the box, there are lots of things we've done. I could tell you about, in theatre, when we do plays, everybody has a funny experience. That कुछ गलत हो गया play में, किसी ने गलत dialogues बोला, किसी के costume का कुछ problem हो गया. The hilarious thing, but I have had experiences in my very first play. My first play was a play called "It's All Your Janab," which was an adaptation of P.L. Deshpande's very famous Marathi play. And 3-act play, and there were all these big people there. There was Manmohan Krishna ji and all these kinds of people, and there was a very senior retired army officer called Colonel Rajadeksha, and we were doing a play in Pune, in the Tilak Smarak hall on the first floor. And the guy who was doing the main role, this Colonel Rajadeksha, the play was going on. After the first and middle of the second act, he went out and he had a heart attack. And he fell down, and people came running and said, Bharat, they used to call him Daddy. They said, Daddy has fallen down. I said, maybe he's getting an asthma attack, just check out. Then we called the sponsor. The show was going on.
They were all on stage.
Behind, he checked him
I
and
think
said,
we missed on the last two sentences because your voice just broke.
What happened was, the show was going on. There was Harish Patel and Mohan Bhandari and Shehnaz Patel and Vishali Gokhale on stage performing. And I went back, saw that he had fallen down. We called the doctor from the audience without telling anybody. We just told the sponsor lady to get a doctor. She called the senior doctor from Pune. He came and said he's got a cardiac arrest. I have phoned up Ruby General Hospital, and they're sending an ambulance to take him away. The show is going on. It's a full house. They're enjoying the play. We didn't know what to do. It was my first play. So I asked one of the senior most guys who was with us, Atmaram Bhinde, I said, what do I do now? He said, you know all the lines, you know the dialogues, right? I said, yeah, I've written the dialogues, but I can't act well as he does. He says, you don't have a choice. So as he was being taken on a stretcher, we removed his costume. He had a French beard like what I have now. We removed that, I put it on myself. And the show is going on. We haven't stopped it for 10 seconds. Nobody in the audience or on the stage knows this has happened at the back.
Happened.
And
Okay.
when he has to make an entry again, I came instead of him. And we finished the entire show like that. And
Bravo.
the people were thrilled. When we had dinner with them afterwards, they said, "Ma'am, we've heard that the show must go on. But it's the first time we've seen that somebody is dying at the back, one of your senior most actors. And without missing a beat, you guys can complete a full show." So these are
कोई
memorable.
मेरा नाम जोकर वाला ही सीन हो गया कि the show
Ah.
should go on, like, you know,
So
it's
should go on,
seriously.
correct. And he, that
हाँ.
Mr. Adileksha never recovered from that. He passed away in the hospital only.
Oh, that's really sad.
But
But
so
कहीं
these are
ना
the kinds
कहीं
of things that happen.
हाँ, एक तरह से झटका वो मतलब how do you control your emotions at that time? You know,
You
it's
have
really
to. That is,
difficult for an
but that is what theatre teaches you.
oh
You have to be very alert. You have to be able to think something when something is going on, because sometimes somebody forgets a line, somebody forgets a dialogue, somebody forgets a certain kind of movement, and you have to carry on. So I think theatre teaches you all these kinds of things.
yeah. That's why there's always a difference between a screen and a theater. You know,
Yeah, and
theater
that's why people who act in theatre, people like Nasiruddin Shah or whoever, Amrish Puri or all these guys, they would always prefer to do theatre. Films is good. Films give you fame, it gives you money, but theatre gives you that live audience in front of you, has its own charm, which films
वो
can't
एक
give you.
नशा है, like, yes, वो
लेकिन अलग
acting
अलग
का
वो
side
अलग नशा है, वो अलग नशा है कि
वो
आपके
अलग है।
आपके जोक्स पे लोग हंस रहे हैं, आपके इमोशनल सीन्स पे लोग रो रहे हैं, आपके सामने बैठ के रो रहे हैं.
हाँ.
Films don't give you that. Films, you do a thing, okay, you don't do it well, you can do 15 takes till you get it well. Here there is no 15 takes, there's just one take. We're just on stage from beginning to end. And you're watching audiences loving what you're doing. And every week there's a different audience that comes. Every city there's a different audience that comes. And that's a great feeling.
Great feeling.
Theatre has
Very
a far more charm than films have.
Okay, so now I would like to ask strong women in your life, and how have they inspired you or motivated you, or what special do you feel about them? Like,
My trouble is all the women that I've met, they've all been strong women. So I've generally been very scared of women. In fact, I asked this question to Amitabh Bachchan once. I am the selector for KVC. And once I was an expert on KVC panel. So while we were talking on the screen, I asked Mr. Bachchan, I said, have you realized that whenever I watch a KBC program, I find that the women are very smart. उनमें कुछ हिचकिचाहट नहीं होती है, वो boldly questions को answer करती हैं. Men are very scared about things. Men sort of hesitate, क्या करें, कैसे बोलें. Do you also feel that? तो Mr. Bachchan said, भरत जी मैं आपको सच में बताऊं कि मेरे सामने जब एक औरत बैठती है तो मैं इतना घबरा के रहता हूँ, तो मैं ये देखता भी नहीं कि वो कितनी boldly आंसर कर रही है. So Mr. Bachchan also gets scared of women. So all of us get scared of women.
नहीं, that's true. That's really true. अब क्या बताएं, सबके घर घर की कहानी है सर.
Correct.
तो आपकी लाइफ में कोई स्पेशल ऐसा जिन्होंने आपको बहुत इंस्पायर किया हो या
My mother did. I think everybody's mothers are the first influences. But my mother used to take my studies. So she always said if I stood first, it was not credit to me, but credit to her, because she was taking my studies. And I was the only son. I was the only child. But she didn't pamper me. So she used to beat me up whenever it was required. She used to force me to start working out. I got interested in exercising because of my mother, because she used to say, till you do 25 Surya Namaskar and 25 Vaitaks, no breakfast for you. So I used to curse her, but I had to do that. So all that credit goes to her, because she used to force me to do exercise. And later on I realized it helped me, because as I became stronger, she couldn't beat me up, because I was strong enough to take the beating. So it started off as a compulsion, but then it came to my advantage that she would stop beating me up with her hands, because her hands would pain. So, but my mother, I would say, was a great influence. Yeah.
I think thanks to mother, आज आपकी build वगैरह इतनी strong
Yes,
and you look like.
completely thanks to her.
So your role model was like Dara Singh, as I had read, you know.
Dara Singh was I used to, from school time, I used to go and attend every wrestling match of Dara Singh. In those 3 rupee tickets, I could afford only 3 rupee tickets. So I used to go and sit with the taxi drivers and the truck drivers at the back and watch the matches. And when I got into advertising, I was doing a campaign for Nutramul, Amul's Nutramul, which is a health drink. So I decided to use Dara Singh as the brand ambassador or a model for that campaign. So I told the producer, I said, wherever the shooting is, I'll go to Dara Singh's house and pick him up. Because I want to meet him. So I went to his house at Juhu, Dara Villa. I picked him up. And in the car, I told him, sir, I am one of your biggest fans. Now, see, people like Dara Singh, I've heard this many times. Everybody comes and tells them that. So he said, theek hai. I said, I gave him year-wise who he had fought with their names. I said, sir, आपने 3 साल पहले आपने लूथेस के साथ फाइट की थी, फिर आपके पैर को लगा था, फिर नेक्स्ट सैटरडे आपकी फिर से फाइट हुई थी, फिर वो एक क्लॉन्डाइक बिल करके एक आदमी आया था जिसने रंधावा जी को कुछ इंजर्ड किया था, तो आपने उसको चैलेंज किया था. I gave him year by year who he had fought. So he was shocked. He didn't know. So he said, अभी भी आप देखते हो क्या? तो ऐसे अभी भी देखता हूँ मैं. So he said, एक काम करो, don't sit in there. I'll give you a pass. So you come and sit ringside. So I started going and sitting ringside. But then I realized that people who sit ringside are not like the people who watch it from the back. The truck drivers, they really believe all this is happening.
मजा उसी में पीछे बैठ.
Ringside people say ये नहीं यार कुछ असली नहीं मार रहा है, तो ऐसे ही pretend करते हैं ये लोग, ये सब planned है. But people who are sitting at the back, they said नहीं यार दारा सिंह जी ने हमारे देश की शान रखी, उन्होंने इसको मारा, गोरे को मारा. So it's more fun watching with them. So I told Dara Singh ji, I'll return your pass. I'll go and sit at the back and watch. I continue
Like
doing
other
that.
matches के सारा एडलिन तो वहीं से मिलता है, जब चाहे क्रिकेट मैच हो, सॉकर हो, कुछ जो पीछे वाली crowd जो चिल्लाती है.
Absolutely. So then I became very close to Dara Singh. So I used to meet him very often. When he passed away, he's the only guy from Bollywood who passed away whose funeral I went to. And I was very close to him. And he was fantastic. He was very disciplined, very dignified. And it was great meeting him. I was a huge fan of his. And I was lucky that I met all these kinds of people in my life. I very closely got to know Dara Singh. I was very close to R.K. Lakshuman. We used to sit and chat long time. He used to come to my office and sit and chat. So meeting these kinds of P.L. Deshpande, these legends, when you meet them, it's a different feeling.
That's the real experience.
That's a real
can't
experience.
Be expressed. Actually, can't be expressed. Those feelings can't be expressed. I can imagine meeting R.K. Lakshman ji and all that is like.
Yeah.
And from the field of advertising, you really know what the importance of.
And these guys, even talking to them, when you meet and talk to them, you realize what legendary greatness these people have, you know? And we are so ordinary compared to them. So it was a great feeling to meet these.
Sir, you're not audible.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now. Yes, we can.
I'm saying that meeting them regularly, sitting and having long discussions with them, that has its own charm. It's not like you're meeting them socially for 5 minutes and saying hello to them. So I was very lucky that I met these kinds of guys. That I went to, when Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister, I went to his house to do a music video with him. And I spent almost 2 hours at the Prime Minister's of his house shooting a music video where he himself acted in it.
Oh, तो सर मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं बताया जो आप इतना बता रहे हो अपने इतने सारे का. हमारा इंट्रो तो कुछ भी नहीं था इसके सामने आपके सर. You have let it, you know, like great.
It's been a great life. It's been great fun.
Next, what message would you wish to convey through your performances or otherwise to inspire women and girls? And what would you आगे आप क्या future देखते हैं जैसे?
I'm no great guy to give any messages to people. I always say that don't ask for equality because equality would bring you down. You're higher than men. So why do you want to be equal to men?
True, sir, true. आपसे हम भी यही बात करेंगे, हमें equality
नहीं चाहिए. मत मांगो. Equality लेना मतलब थोड़ा 2 step नीचे आना है. आप जहाँ पे है वहीं
आज
पे
जितने
रहो।
भी हमारे सारे व्यूअर्स सुन रहे हैं ना, वो ये बात बिल्कुल ध्यान से सुन ले। एंड आई वुड लव अगर आप ये चीज दोबारा रिपीट कर लें सर, कि हमें इक्वालिटी आपके मुंह से ज्यादा
That is
अच्छा
the truth.
लगेगा।
That is very much
हाँ
the truth. That women shouldn't ask for equality. Because I'll tell you one thing, women, as I said, I'd written in that LIC ad, women do
हाँ
so much more than men do.
यस
As housewives, in every respect and every aspect of their life, I think that in my advertising, I can tell you from advertising field that I've always preferred women managers because they're more committed, they're more sincere in their work, and most of the time they're more creative. So if I had to employ people, I would always say it's great to employ women managers. They work far better. And I love having women in the audience. Women laugh heartily. Men don't
कितना
laugh
सुकून
heartily.
मिल रहा है सुन के, यू वोंट
नहीं,
बिलीव, कितना
नहीं, but ये
सुकून।
मैं सच बोल रहा हूँ आपको कि हमारे जब ऑडियंस में there are more women, they
हाँ
laugh heartily. They don't give a damn who is watching them. Men are very conscious. They look around, कोई देख रहा है क्या, कैसे हंसे, इतना जोर से हंसेंगे तो बोलेंगे क्या पागल है, कितना जोर से हंस रहा है. Women don't give a damn. If they like something,
हाँ
they laugh heartily. So I love having women in the audience.
थैंक यू। हम दोबारा आपको बुलाएंगे सर, इतनी अच्छी बातें करो, हम तो जाएंगे, अब रोज आएंगे। मैं अपने सारे व्यूअर्स को भी ये भी कहूंगी कि another 5 minutes, एंड अगर किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना हो तो आप चैट बॉक्स में डालें। 5 मिनट बाद हम Q&A लेंगे, तब तक हम थोड़ी और बातें करते हैं भरत जी से। वो अगर अपने बारे में आप खुद से ही कुछ बताना चाहें सर तो आप बताएं।
मैं क्या बताऊं, मैं as I said, in addition to all this, I represented the Mumbai University in boxing for 2 years.
हाँ
2 साल
सर,
मैंने
मैंने देखा हुआ था।
मैंने
तभी मैं
welterweight
पूछ
में
रही थी,
बॉक्सिंग
लॉ
की
की
थी.
डिग्री, बॉक्सर, ये इतनी सारी
Then
डाइवर्सिफाइड।
there were once upon when I was in college, हमारे वहाँ पे एक NCC चलती थी तब. All of us had to do NCC. तब they had a scheme by which they selected 7 people from Maharashtra to go and join the active Indian Army for 2 months. So I was sent to Kutch to join 16 Rajput and 9 Rajputana Rifle for 2 months. I lived with the Jawans. I worked with them. I learned how to assemble light machine guns, how to operate machine guns, how to do marching. 2 महीने हम लोग आर्मी के साथ रहे वहाँ पे. And I came back after 2 months, a completely transformed guy. Army life is so fantastic.
Fantastic.
Army guys are so committed to everything. They're so, and we fool around. We urban people, we are always fooling around. The army guys are very sincere. And I spent 2 months with them, day in, day out with the Jawans. And it was a fantastic experience, the army attachment camp. So I've done all these kinds of very different kinds of things.
तो हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि you're blessed by God, ऐसे नहीं, आपकी अपनी मेहनत से आपने इतने सारे मुकाम हासिल किए हैं।
Blessings of God की रहती है. Without the blessing of God, you can't do all this. But I think God gives you chances. वो chances को आपको क्या करना है वो आप पे निर्भर रहता है.
हाँ, opportunities encash करना, अपनी मेहनत।
God gives you all the opportunities. They open all the doors. उससे क्या करना है वो आप पे रहता है.
नहीं, that's really nice sir. और क्या कहते हैं उसको, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट, जैसे अभी आपने बताया इक्वालिटी डिमांड नहीं करनी है, व्हाट इन ट्रू सेंस वुड यू बिलीव इज लाइक वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट? पहले आपने बताया कि घर के बाहर के साथ साथ घर के अंदर भी उनको उतना ही एम्पावर्ड होना चाहिए, तो एनीथिंग एल्स वुड यू लाइक टू शेयर?
No, that's what I learned from the women that we talked to in our research studies. That women empowerment does not mean that you just do well in outside world, that you achieve something that a man is achieving outside. That you can do, but doing side by side, doing your duties as a mother or a housewife is as important, is what I learned talking to women across India. And I think that is the truth. That just a woman. In fact, I had heard once, read an interview of Indira Nui of Pepsi worldwide, and she said, "Look, even at my stage, when I'm the head of Pepsi worldwide, I have to be sure that I continue as a housewife and do my duties as a woman in the house. I can't just say I'm an outside, I'm such a high-level executive, so I don't have to worry about my house. I can't do that. I have to balance both the things." So I think that is what I think true empowerment is. That it's balancing both the things equally well is, I think, what is for me women empowerment.
You mentioned Indira Nooyi, and I was just listening to her one of her interviews wherein she says कि मैं पूरा मुझे प्रमोशन मिला, सब हुआ, मैं घर आई रात को इतना लेट आते मेरी मम्मी को मुझे ये सुनाना था मेरा, she told nothing कि पहले बाहर जाओ, दूध घर में नहीं है, दूध लेके आओ, बाद में मुझे बाकी की चीजें बताओ. It's like, oh my God, my promotion was no important to my mom. What was important was घर में दूध नहीं है. You know, so what exactly you say proves that कि one inside the house one should always be expert and fully pro in all the other responsibilities also.
Yeah, very true, very true.
आज हमारे सेशन में आके सर आपको कैसा लगा ये बताएं. This I don't know whether you know more about JITO, JLW or no, but
no.
हाँ. So
But
thanks to Sangeeta.
I'm very happy that I think because as I said, when I was in college, there were 145 girls and 5 boys. बाद में ये हुआ कि college के बाद तो the equal number of men and women. So that was a very strange experience for me. So when I know that there are so many women here listening to this thing, it's a good feeling. And as I said, women have always been a good audience for me. I would ever at any time say that if I have to have an audience in a play, get me more women and less men, because women really enjoy things. And I say that across wherever I've traveled and done my shows all over the world, that's a universal truth. It's not just in India or in one city or the other. I've gone to Jaipur, Indore, we've performed everywhere. We performed in South Africa, we performed in England, America. When you have women in the audience, you know your show will go well.
Well, इसी बात से एक चीज याद है, you travel extensively. So what difference do you see in women here and women outside there? आपके perspective से या अपना entertainment industry के perspective से?
There's not much difference. It's like I used to handle advertising for L'Oreal and Garnier, and we always realized that what we are selling is the concept of beauty. So whether I'm selling it in India or Tanzania or Africa, I'm selling the same concept of beauty. The idea of a beautiful woman in Tanzania may be different than in India. But my campaign doesn't have to change. I have to say that if you do this, you will become beautiful. Now in Tanzania, the beautiful woman will be dark, black, she'll have curly hair, short hair. For them, that is beautiful. But I'm not changing my campaign for that. I'm just saying if you use these products, it'll make you beautiful. So I think when you appeal to women, there are certain things which don't change. Universally, a mother and her feelings towards her children don't change. The feeling of a girl who wants to look, a lady who wants to look beautiful when she goes out, doesn't change. That is universally true. So in advertising, we learn that you have to change the kinds of models that you use, the kinds of language you use. But the principle behind what you're selling doesn't change across the thing. Because women across the world want similar things. They all want to be good mothers. They all want to be good housewives. They all want to be good business people. And they're all the same. I mean, frankly speaking, the whole world is a village. There's not much difference.
Exactly, whole world is a village. That's really nice. नहीं बहुत अच्छा लगा. Questions तो और भी बहुत हैं, हम पूछ सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं, but time limit and 5 मिनट और संगीता जी कह रहे 5 मिनट और हमें आपसे और कुछ सुनना है. So then we can go with Q&A.
आप पूछिए, जो भी पूछना चाहती हैं पूछिए.
Go to Q&A. Because I told him 1 hour.
No, it's okay. I don't mind. If people haven't gone to sleep, if they're bored, then we can finish. I can talk for longer, no problems.
हमें हमारे चेयरपर्सन से स्ट्रिक्टली ऑर्डर्स थे ललवानी जी से कि टाइम लिमिट देना उनको. हमने इतनी टाइम.
You want to talk till for the next 1 hour? I am okay.
Thank you. नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से काफी लोगों के क्वेश्चंस भी होंगे, बट लास्ट क्वेश्चन आई वुड आस्क यू इज लाइक, सिंस ये वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट वीक है, तो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट को लेके मैं ये बात करूंगी कि जो आपने कहा कि ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है बाहर से और यहाँ में, तो जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ पॉलिसीज हो गए या ये हो गए, तो आपको क्या लगता है जो सिनेरियो आजकल अपने देश में चल रहा है वो काफी फेवरेबल है, या एम्पावरमेंट के नाम पे काफी मतलब क्या कहते हैं डिसएडवांटेजेस भी हो रहे हैं?
Frankly, when you see the way women are joining the army, when you see women flying fighter jets, when you find Nirmala Sitharaman being the finance minister of the country, or Sushma Swaraj ji, who was the external affairs minister, and I think that is empowerment. I mean, that's what we've showcased. We have all these things. When we have Smriti Irani, who I've known for many years, because when she used to be in Mumbai, we used to be lots of times on different times now and those kinds of debates. So we used to chat at that time. And now when I hear her talking in Lok Sabha, wherever she is now, she's fantastic. The way she talks and when she puts forward her views, and I think that is what empowerment is all about. That whatever field you choose, that you do well in them. And I think women are more forceful. If you hear Smriti Irani talking, you'll get scared. If you sit across her and you argue with her, she has all the knowledge that of a subject that she's talking about, and she's very forceful about putting that forward. So you have to be very careful. With men, you can sort of, when I go and talk for these debates, I generally go and then glare at men, look at them angrily, and then they sort of keep quiet if they are saying something against my viewpoint. Women don't give a damn. They, no matter how I look, how angrily I look at them, they continue doing what they want to do.
They need to put their word in the thoughts.
They have to put their word. And I always say this: you have 3 women on your panel, and they don't agree with each other. You'll never get a chance to talk. They will continuously argue. You just sit there quietly and smile. You don't do a thing about this. So that's been my experience.
Have you experienced that any time in your life?
All the time. I experience that all the time.
Okay.
You have to get 3 women or 2 women who don't agree with each other, and put them on the same panel, and put a man or 2 in the same panel, and let them get started. And then they will not let anybody talk. They will continuously talk to each other. They'll scream. Even if you start talking, they'll shut you down. So I always say, I go very happily. I don't even ask the people what the subject is. If Arnav Goswami calls me, I don't ask him what subject. I go there. I said, if there are 2 women there, they'll take over the show. मुझे सिर्फ वहाँ पे बैठ के हंसना है. ये कुछ 5 सेकंड बोलने को मिलेगा, उतना बोल लेना है. बाद में चुपचाप बैठ के हंस के सुनना है वहाँ पे बैठ के.
नहीं सर, इतने बुरे नहीं है हम. No, but very true. We like putting our word forward, and we make sure that उसको माने करे.
Yeah, and they shut you up. I've been on a thing where some man tried to say, "Lekin aap meri," I am telling you something. First, you listen to me. That woman would shut him up. The poor guy would say, "Madam, I just wanted to say what you were saying," and she wouldn't let him complete the sentence. She would shut him up before he could say what he wanted to say.
ये तो घर में भी यही होता है सर. 1-to-1 एक्सपीरियंस पता चल जाता है, तो इसीलिए वहाँ तो फिर भी 2 हैं.
Correct.
That's really nice. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Now, I would just like to take Q&A. उसमें अगर कुछ देखते हैं, तो I would call upon Ritu ji. Ritu ji Jain, जो हमारे national convener है financial and literacy के लिए, तो I would just invite her to take up the Q&A, please. Ritu ji.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ji, and very warm welcome, Bharat ji. आपको सुनकर इतना मजा आ रहा है कि ऐसा लग रहा है कि हम सुनते ही जाए.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
अब तो इन्होंने परमिशन भी दे दी है, तो आप खींच सकते हैं, बात कर सकते हैं साथ.
See you, और आपको हमने बहुत फॉलो किया. आपके बहुत सारे मैंने फॉर्मर इंटरव्यूज भी देखे. भरत जी, एक क्वेश्चन जो मैं अभी आपसे पहले ही पूछना चाह रही हूँ, बिफोर आई टेक द क्वेश्चन आंसर्स ऑफ द ऑडियंस. हम लोग अभी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पर, ये जो हमारा विमेन एम्पावरमेंट वीक है, उसको हम कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. आप क्या सोचते हैं, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स कितना रोल प्ले करती है एक पर्सन को, मे बी अ मैन और मे बी अ वुमन?
In today's world, it's very important in today's world, because क्या हुआ है कि पहले everybody didn't get a chance to put forward their views. Now, because of social media and all those things happening, everybody can communicate with the world. So it's very important that you improve your communication skills, because now you're talking to anybody you want to talk to. Earlier, आपकी बातें सिर्फ अपने दोस्तों के साथ होती थी, your family or your friends. अभी ये हुआ है कि you can now talk to the whole world through your social media. So you must have the skill to write what you feel, express your views, or go on the thing on a video and speak your mind. So it's very important that you improve your communication skill, and it doesn't have to be in English. It can be in any language. I've always said this, कि creativity वगैरह में जो होती है, तो I always go and when I go and give talks in different cities, smaller towns and things, I always tell them कि creativity has no language. अगर आपके दिमाग में कोई thought है, it can be in Malayalam, it can be in Tamil, it can be in Gujarati, it can be in Marathi. The thought is important. Then putting it in a different language, if you give me a Malayalam thought or a Gujarati thought, doing that thought in English is not a problem. But that creative thought is important. So people sometimes get worried कि हमें English बोलना नहीं आता. I meet lots of people, youngsters also. वो कहते हैं कि हम लोग गुजराती मीडियम में पढ़ते हैं, हम लोग मराठी मीडियम में पढ़ते हैं, तो हमको we feel shy to communicate. And I always tell them, don't feel shy. Communicate in whatever language you want. Because creativity, expressions have no language. As long as what you're saying makes sense, that is more important. There was a time when people thought speaking in English means that you're knowledgeable. That is not true. English and knowledge have nothing to do with each other. Knowledge can be in any language. So people must, whether you are a young girl or a boy or a grown-up person, you must improve your communication skills. That's very important. That's the best way of putting forward a point of view.
Yeah, of course, I do agree. जब मैंने CA complete किया और जब मैं वर्ल्ड से मिलने जा रही थी, because मेरी पूरी शिक्षा हिंदी से हुई, तो मुझे बड़ा डर लगता था उनसे बात करने में इंग्लिश में. लेकिन आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि माध्यम है बस एक, वो चाहे हिंदी हो चाहे अंग्रेजी हो, दोनों ठीक है.
जी, और ऐसे भी हम कोई भी कहीं भी किसी भी देश में परफेक्ट इंग्लिश में कोई बात नहीं करता. तो अपने अपने मदर टंग के उसमें शब्द आते हैं, उसमें सेंटेंसेस आती हैं. So I think it's absolutely fine to speak in whatever language you want.
Thank you so much. आप क्योंकि जीरो के प्लेटफॉर्म में आए और lots of business women are here, तो एक हमारी बहुत ही prominent business woman है ज्योति जी, वो आपसे ये पूछना चाह रही है. हम सब अमूल एड्स को सालों से सुनते आ रहे हैं. Butterly delicious, which is going on for last 40 to 50 years, like so.
Yeah.
तो पूछना चाहती कि ऐसा क्या करी वो अपने एड कैंपेन में कि वो हमेशा लॉन्ग चलेगी और उतना ही फ्रेश भी लगे आगे.
See, अमूल जो कैंपेन थी वो मैंने नहीं शुरू की थी. मेरे एडवर्टाइजिंग में आने की पहले से वो शुरू थी. मिस्टर Sylvester Dikuna had started that campaign.
Right.
So he was the guy who thought of that girl to be put on a hoarding. He was the guy who thought of a jingle कि जिसमें last those sentences थे, Amul is the answer to your wishes. It's utterly butterly delicious. तो ये मेरे पास मेरे सामने platter पे था. I didn't create that. I just continued for the next 15-16 years writing those hoardings and the other campaigns for Amul. But I always said कि the credit for Amul जो था, अभी है, आगे रहेगा, doesn't go to people like us. It goes to a man called Dr. Kurian. He was the world's best client for us. He came and said कि हमें, I understand nothing in advertising. So don't show me what you do. So Amul, when I was doing it for 15 years, I never had to show him anything for his approval. I could do what I wanted. That kind of faith when somebody puts in you, then you put double the amount of work to make sure nothing goes wrong. So I think the credit for Amul goes to Dr. Kurian, not to people like us.
That's so modest of you. आप उसमें एक बहुत ही prominent part है. हम लोग सब जानते हैं. हमारी डायरेक्टर ऑफ एक्स है सुनीता जी बहरा, वो आपसे पूछना चाह रही है कि आप एक एक्टर हैं, आप लॉयर हैं, आप बॉक्सर हैं, आप एड एजेंसी चलाते हैं, आप लोगों के लिए जिंगल्स लिखते हैं, आप अपने लिए इतना वक्त निकालते हैं, हम सब के पास 24 ही घंटे होते हैं. इतनी सारी चीजें आप कैसे मैनेज कर लेते हैं?
Because मैं बोलता हूँ कि I have learned to compartmentalize my life. I never let anything. If I'm doing advertising, it's fully advertising. जब मैं ऑफिस से निकल के रिहर्सल के लिए जाता हूँ, तो I stop thinking of advertising. So I'm only thinking of the play. फिर वहां से निकल के मैं कहीं और गया, where I'm doing something else. So I compartmentalize my life. So nothing overlaps anything else. हम लोगों का प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि people carry whatever there is in their mind in the morning, they carry it in the afternoon. If you have a thing at home, you'll carry it to your work. If you have some problem in the work, you'll carry it home. If you do that, then you can't do so many things. You have to be able to compartmentalize your life, which is what I've done quite successfully. That's why I can manage all these things. And plus, I have a zoo in the house. I have a zoo in the house. I've got 5 dogs. I've got 1 bakri, and all of them in my house.
Oh.
When you're living with animals, you have to relax all the time. Animals give you all that positive feeling all the time. So I've got 1 cat. I've got 5 dogs. I've got one pygmy goat whose name is Biryani.
Oh, I missed this out. I really missed this out. You're a big animal lover. अभी मैंने देखा आपसे सुना तो रहे मैंने कहा मेरा ये point तो रह ही गया animal lover
Yes,
वाला.
sir, I have kept all kinds
I
of
wanted
animals.
to ask you animal kingdom के बारे में, so you just told me that now. Yeah.
I've
That
kept
is trust.
monkeys. I've kept ducks in my life. I've kept monkeys and squirrels and parrots. Now I have a bakri, chota pygmy bakri, who is a cute little thing. Her name is Biryani. And she, when you call her Biryani, she comes and gives you shake hand and things like that. I'm surrounded by animals.
All this you do in Mumbai, and all this you do in Mumbai.
All this is in Mumbai. I have a house at Chembur. I stay at Chembur. And I have a bungalow in Chembur. So it has all these facilities. So I can keep all the animals, birds, whatever I want.
सर आप और भी कोई ऐसी चीज हम मिस कर रहे हैं, आपका टैलेंट, आपका पैशन, आपका लव, तो वो भी बता दें सर. अब लिस्ट इतनी बड़ी हो गई.
This is something that not many people know about this. When I got into college, I took part in we used to have a thing called youth festival. इसमें सारे colleges participate करते थे. And there were debates, there were dramas, there were dancing, singing, and every college would get points for each one that they won. And Elphinstone College, we took part in dancing. And me and 3 other boys and 4 girls, we did a modern ballet dance. And that time we beat all the colleges in the country, in the town, and we got the youth festival trophy. So I did a modern ballet dance. After that, next year I did a Spanish gypsy dance. Nobody believes that I dance, but I did win this thing for 2 years in a row. I won the intercollegiate championship for dancing, not single dancing, a group dancing, 8 of us. And we did that 2 times in a row.
So you're a dancer also.
After that, I stopped dancing. I never danced after that. After that, I stopped dancing. The only time I danced was when I did a film with Salman Khan called Dabholkar 3. Salman is a friend of mine from before he got into films. So when we did Dabholkar 3, Salman said, Bharat, I'm doing a song and dance called Munna Badnaam Hua. You should dance in that. Mere saath dance karo tum bhi. That's after years. That's the only time I danced for some 10 seconds with Salman Khan in that song. Otherwise, no dancing.
But you won many trophies in dancing. I heard in one of your interview.
Yeah, twice, 2 years I won intercollegiate championship.
That's great. अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन हमारे पास जो आ रहा है वो ये पूछ रहे हैं कि पहले जो हॉबी होती थी या जो हमारे पैशन होते थे वो पैशन एंड हॉबी होते थे, आजकल वो प्रोफेशन बन रहे हैं. तो आप हमारी जो यंग गर्ल्स हैं, हमारी जी
नहीं, I didn't hear.
Am I
आजकल
audible?
क्या बन गए हैं? Yeah, you're audible, but I missed that one word. आजकल क्या हो गया आपने कहा?
जो हॉबीज है हमारी या जो हमारा पैशन है जिसको लोग अगर परस्यू करें तो वो एक अच्छा प्रोफेशन बन सकता है. तो जो हमारी यंग गर्ल्स हैं हमारे साथ में, आप उनको क्या एडवाइस करना चाहेंगे? शुड दे गो विद द रूटीन professions, or they should pursue their hobby, or they should pursue their passion?
Very honestly, I advise all the young people that when our times we had not many choices. We could either do BA, BSc or BCom, and then go either for medicine, engineering, or go for CA exams or whatever. We didn't have, or engineering or those kind of things. We didn't have much of a choice. Today you have so much choice. The kinds of things that you can do is amazing. So find out what you love doing. Find out what you're passionate about doing. And just do that. Except, don't think of entertainment industry as the industry to get into. That's not the industry to get into. Entertainment industry is a very cruel industry.
Oh.
It doesn't give you, and it's a limited. It has a. Everybody has an expiry date in that. The best of actresses that you would know, who were top of the game, after 10, 15 years, they're nowhere. You know?
Very true.
And there are thousands of people who come into this town hoping that they'll make it big in the industry, and they don't. So entertainment industry is something that you can do as a hobby, like all of us did. That we did plays together. I did films, but that was not my profession. So I did that as an extra thing that I was doing if I had spare time. So if you take it up as a serious thing, it's difficult that you can't sustain it for your life. In any other profession, as we grow into that profession, we earn more, we get better positions in life. In entertainment industry, you always go down. What you could earn at the age of 25, you don't earn at the age of 55. By the time you're down, you know. other youngsters have come up. So I think
Yeah.
don't think of entertainment as your prime focus. That is something that you could do on the side. You can do theater after work. You can be working anywhere. You can be a lawyer. You can be a CA. You can spare time to do theater and have fun doing it. It's an entertaining thing. It's a great passion to have. But doing that as your profession that will earn money from is not the right choice.
True.
But follow your passion.
Agreed.
There's lots of things you can do.
That's great.
Yeah, you can do.
Your voice is breaking. Can you check, please? No voice.
Bharat ji, you are unmute.
Voice mute हो ना शायद. Unmute.
Yeah,
Hello.
you're mute. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
I
Bharat.
can't hear you. Hello.
Oh, hello. Are you getting us? Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
Bharat
I
ji.
couldn't-
Yes, Bharat
I
ji.
couldn't hear you.
Yes.
Tell me. Tell me.
जी बस भरत जी यही पूछ रहे हैं हमारी संगीता जी वैसे वो आपको बहुत अच्छे से जानती हैं और बहुत अच्छे से आपसे परिचित भी हैं लेकिन ये क्वेश्चन हम सबके लिए है कि आप हमेशा इतने कूल कैसे रहते हैं हमने सुना कभी आपको गुस्सा नहीं आता
I have never lost my temper in my entire life.
Wow.
And I have done advertising for Aspro, but I've never had a headache. I don't know what a headache is.
Oh, wow.
तो लोग कहते हैं कि तुमको दिमाग नहीं है इससे तुमको headache नहीं होता. That's what people say, but I don't know if that is true. But I have never had a headache and I've never lost my temper.
So why don't you start taking classes for other men also?
Because I tell them, they say, how do you manage? I said, I do it with simple living and no thinking. That's why I manage it.
That's the mantra.
This is my mantra, simple living and no thinking.
What is it that you do? Do you meditate? What is it that you do?
I don't do anything of that. I don't meditate. I don't do yoga. But I have a gym in the house. I work out every morning when I wake up. All these years, I've never missed out working out in the morning. And I do proper workout. I do weight training. I do like what I used to do when I was 20 years old. I used to do the same thing now. Every morning without fail. But I've never done meditation. I've never done yoga. Not that it's not a good thing to do. I have never done it.
How do you keep the temper under control? I mean, with a very high stress job that you have.
I think I do it by not taking myself too seriously. I think what happens is when you start taking yourself seriously, you create an image of yourself in your mind that anything goes wrong, you get angry. I say, for me, life is all about fun. You do the best that you can. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, you've done the best. I mean, there's nothing better than that you could have done. So if you take that attitude, then you don't get angry.
Very true.
And I don't give too much importance to things that go wrong. I say, everything goes wrong at times, but you can't keep on getting bogged down by that. You just have to smile and carry on. That's why I never get angry.
सबसे अच्छी बात जो आपने आज हमें सिखाई कि बस उस पल को जियो जिस पल में आप हो
absolutely. I always say that मेरे ऑफिस में एक लाइन की लिखी हुई कि a happy man is not happy because everything goes right for him in a day. A happy man is happy because he only looks at things that have gone wrong. अगर आपके लाइफ में आज के दिन में 10 चीजें हुई होंगी उसमें से 7 चीजें खराब हुई लेकिन 3 चीजें तो अच्छी हुई ना. Everything can't go wrong. So look at those 3 things that have gone right and be happy. Don't look at things that have gone wrong.
That's so inspiring. बहुत अच्छा आपसे लगा सुनकर और इतने सारे कमेंट्स आए आप अपने चैट बॉक्स में अगर देखेंगे तो everybody is saying कि Bharat ji is very talented, humble, very inspiring, a very amazing person.
Brilliant.
दोबारा आना पड़ेगा सर, दोबारा आना पड़ेगा हमारे चैट
Please बुलाइए.
In person मिलना पड़ेगा. Sir, in person मिलना पड़ेगा.
I'll definitely come. Offline
So we
करेंगे.
would love to, Sangeeta ji,
Sure thing.
actually we would love to
Plan
meet you,
करो.
sir.
संगीता
Next time
जी
in
से बोल दो
Bombay,
कि
जब
वो
भी
plan
हमारा
करें.
कुछ होगा.
Sure, sir.
हाँ.
सच में बहुत मजा आया सर. एक क्वेश्चन आया था हमारी ऑडियंस में से, मैं नाम तो भूल गई हूँ. आई थिंक शायद संतोष जी ने पूछा कि अभी आपने कहा कि वुमेन्स को एम्पावरमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है, तो हम हमेशा वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात क्यों करते हैं?
I'll tell you what happens. Maybe women need to get empowered the urban women are more empowered than rural women, as it used to be, as I told you maybe 20 years ago. But now with the knowledge that social media and internet and all that, I mean, I was talking to a Google man, the head of Google in India, and he said now there is 50% viewership of internet or Google in urban and 50% in rural. It's 50% men and 50% women. So it's no more like earlier कि सिर्फ urban लोग internet का and social media का use करते थे. Now everybody is doing it. And I think thanks to Modi ji, it has gone, the whole digital thing has gone across the country. Everybody is using it now. And I think that is what is making people stronger in terms of things. Of course, there are instances of women being sort of put down and traumatized and all that, but that happens in every society. But as a country, I think if we can continue doing this, we'll be fine.
Very true. I agree with you totally, Bharat, here, because I'll tell you, Jito Ladies Wing, not that you know much about, we have 70 chapters across the country, and we have 5-6 chapters outside the world, outside India, not outside, outside India. So this is exactly what I found. कि पहले था कि पापा urban India और rural India में है, but no longer. The rural girls are extremely talented, very well spoken. They are very good masters of communication. I mean, brilliant and very sure of themselves. So
I go and give talks in small towns in India on communication to students and things like that, and I find that you can't make out that a girl or a young girl or a boy in Jalgaon or Sholapur or something is very much different than a girl or a boy in Mumbai. They have the same dressing sense, they have the same enthusiasm, and they have access to everything.
Just now in April, I completely agree. I couldn't agree with you more. In April, we did something called the Ahimsa Run. The Ahimsa Run was one of the one in 70 cities in India, 26 countries outside, and 175 locations in America. Together, one day, one time. We broke all records. We created the Guinness record, the World Book of Records, India records, everything. And all this was led by women. Women in rural India led it far more stronger and far more powerful than the women in metros. This is my point here. Like the kind of my entire committee is here. They will tell you कि हमारे लड़कियों ने जो rural India में काम किया है, देखते रह गए हम. छोटे-छोटे गांव की लड़कियां क्या काम किया है?
You wouldn't believe this. Some 3 or 4 years ago, I was a judge. The municipal corporation, Bombay Municipal Corporation, had done a drawing competition, painting competition. The subject given was Meri Mumbai or something like that. And they had got 56,000 entries. And they had sort of sorted out the whole thing. And I was called with some other people for the judging of the final lot. And we weren't told who the persons who had done this was. We didn't know names. We just had to look at the work that they had put up, students, young girls and boys, and we had to mark them. And we found out that the most awards were won by people from Dharavi slums.
Wow.
A lot of Muslim girls and boys had won the highest number of awards in that competition. We didn't know who they were. We were just judging the art. And you suddenly realize that it's no more just people from rich localities who are doing this. No, there are people from poor localities who are doing this. There are people from slums who are doing all this. It's an amazing thing, yeah.
Bharat, we couldn't thank you enough. I will now request Sangeeta ji Lodha. Sheetal, should we wrap this up?
Because we'll continue when we continue when we meet offline, we'll talk about this again.
We have to, and we will continue. We will meet offline. All the girls now want to meet you offline. All of them.
Yes.
आपके पास चॉइस ही नहीं है ना करने की, अब तो आपको मिलना ही पड़ेगा. आपने कहा ना बात मनवा लेते वो वैसे ही होगी कि आपको आना ही पड़ेगा.
पक्का आएंगे. No.
So 6th, 7th, 8th, we are all leaving for Jaipur. We are meeting all over there. So if Sangeeta ji will talk with you, if you are available at that time, Sangeeta ji will call you.
Okay.
So we can meet over there.
Yeah, we can figure it out. Yeah.
Can figure it out. Yeah.
Hello. Yes. थैंक यू भरत जी दाभोलकर, आपका नाम इतना पावरफुल है, सुन के ऐसे थोड़ा डर लग रहा था कि आपको मिलके बात कर पाएंगे नहीं कर पाएंगे, पर आप इतने सिंपल डाउन टू अर्थ और इतने अच्छे से हम लोगों के साथ आपने बात किया है, जो आपके लाइफ में अप्स एंड डाउन आए, आपने किस तरीके से मूवीज एड्स में काम किया है, सब सुनकर मतलब हमको ऐसे रोंगटे आ गए हैं। और आपको मतलब रूबरू होने का, आपके साथ में बात करने का और फ्यूचर में मौका मिलेगा, इसका हम इंतजार कर रहे हैं।
पक्का मिलेंगे।
थैंक यू सो मच। मतलब आपने आज प्रूव करके दिखाया है कि हम जो ये वुमन एम्पावरमेंट कर रहे हैं, ये कोई टूर्नामेंट नहीं है। और जैसे आप सुन के हमारा भी सेंटिमेंट एकदम पक्का हो गया कि दुनिया में लेडीज का ही टैलेंट सबसे ज्यादा है। थैंक यू हमारा हौसला बढ़ाने के लिए। और हमारे में पहले दिन आए और हमारा हौसला बढ़ाया। वुमन एम्पावरमेंट का ये जो सीरीज हो रहा है, टुडे इज फर्स्ट डे, आज ही हमारा हौसला इतना ऊपर बढ़ गया है। जस्ट इमेजिन कीजिए 8 दिन में हम कहाँ पहुंचने वाले हैं। थैंक यू सो मच भरत जी।
I've seen the list of your speakers. You have some great speakers coming up, and they're wonderful. Even Vivek is a friend of mine, and he is a wonderful speaker. He is a very inspiring speaker. You'll enjoy his talk.
यस, और कल हमारा जो सेशन होने वाला है उसका नाम है कल जो सेशन होने वाला है गोल्ड के ऊपर। सभी लेडीज के लिए ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है। मतलब गोल्ड बोला तो लेडीज एसेट के हिसाब से संभाल के रखती है, मदर के यहाँ से जो मिलता है उसके ऊपर हमें बात करने वाले हैं। और इसके ऊपर गाइडेंस करने के लिए हमारे लिए आने वाले हैं पृथ्वीराज जी कोठारी, और जो मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर है रिद्धि सिद्धि बुलियन ग्रुप के, और संगीता जी ललवानी जो हमारे चेयरपर्सन है JLW के, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर ऑफ गोल्ड मार्ट, मनीषा जी गुप्ता जो गोल्ड कमोडिटीज के एडिटर है CNBC TV 18 के, हमारे साथ में वो कल रहने वाले। लेडीज आप सभी को इससे भी ज्यादा संख्या में जुड़कर गोल्ड की जो अहमियत अपने लाइफ में है वो सुनना है। तो थैंक यू एक बार भरत जी। उसके बाद थैंक यू कहना चाहूंगी आज हमारे साथ जो डिग्निटरीज प्रेजेंट थे शुरुआत में जीतो के, सुखराज जी सा नहार, अभय जी सा श्रीमाल, मनोज जी मेहता, संजय जी जैन, सुनीता जी बोहरा, संगीता जी ललवानी, शीतल जी दुग्गड़, संगीता जी जैन, आपने बहुत अच्छे से मॉडरेट किया सेशन। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू सो मच भरत।
उसके बाद में रितु जी छोरारिया, क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन बहुत बढ़िया तरीके से आपने हैंडल कर लिया। थैंक यू सो मच। ऑल द जोन कन्वेनर्स, प्रोजेक्ट कन्वेनर्स और हमारे CPCS आज बड़ी संख्या में उपस्थित रहे, तहे दिल से आपको धन्यवाद। उसके बाद में JLW मेंबर्स, नॉन JLW मेंबर्स जो भी हमारे साथ में जुड़े हुए हैं, सभी से दिल से धन्यवाद। और ऐसी ही प्रेजेंटी एवरीडे रखा, अपने फ्रेंड्स फैमिली सबको इस सेशन में जुड़ने के लिए कहना। हमारी जो बैक में टीम काम कर रही है, श्वेता एंड अश्विनी और बहुत सारे लोग इसके साथ में बैकग्राउंड में काम कर रहे हैं, सभी से धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी। नेक्स्ट जनगण मन शीतल जी।
Thank you.
Thank you. Really, I cannot thank you enough. What you were simply brilliant, beyond brilliant, and we all learned so much from you. And one thing I remember.
Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
आज हम अपने नेशनल एंथम के लिए सब साथ में एक नेशनल एंथम हो जाए। सर
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा, उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, girls. Thank you so much. Thank you, team. I'm going to see you tomorrow.
See you all tomorrow. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all the participants. आपको का कोई प्रोग्राम अच्छा हुआ. Thank you so much.